Okay, guys, BK Scalper 1.7, my pièce de résistance version. I promise you this hopefully will be my last one, is here. And I'm really, really happy to walk you through it because I think this is the tool that we can trade with for as long as the markets exist and hopefully bank money every single day. So before we start, obviously a small explanation about what Scalper does. It's essentially a two moving average system. We use a short-term moving average of an 8 period and a long-term moving average of 200 period. And primarily in this particular version, 80% of the signals are going to be with trend, and there'll be occasionally, in the extreme cases, counter trend signals that we can take. In addition to the BK Scalper, there's two overlays that I'm going to share with you after I walk you through the BK Scalper. One of them gives you the first trend signal. This is a signal that you can use, I think very well for longer term, maybe intraday swing-like trades. And the other one is just a breakout signal, which I call extreme breakout, which you can use if you like to trade breakouts. But before we get to those overlays, which are free to anybody, you can use them to your heart's content. Let's talk about Scalper, which is exclusive to us at BK. So the first and most important order of business is that Scalper here has a beautiful, beautiful settings facility now that's really nicely organized. You can change every setting here is user defined. More importantly, every single setting that's important has a little tooltip around it that allows you to basically tells you everything that's this particular setting is all about. So it sort of gives you additional information. You can just hover over here and explain to you exactly what it's about. So for more information, feel free to look at it. But the point being is that you can change anything you like on this setting, including the data position table, the big dashboard over here. You can move it around. You can move it to, for example, it's a top right. You want it to move it to top left. Just say top left. It actually goes right over there. All of these, you can go bottom left, anything you like. Everything is fully configurable for your pleasure. So let's talk about sort of the basic things that I put into the dashboard that help you analyze the structure of the price. And then we'll talk about the price signals themselves and how we can incorporate the dashboard and the price signals themselves. The basic idea of Scalper is 8-period SMA is the short term, 200-period SMA is the long term. When we're below the 200, it's a trend to the downside. When we're above, it's a trend to the upside. When the moving averages themselves are so wide, they're like 30 basis points wide, so a third of a percent wide, the whole thing turns into super trend, meaning that there's tremendous amount of selling or buying activity, as you can see here, and the candles themselves turn red. I keep the candles by default to be all black to completely not get us distracted on what the individual candle is doing. We don't care what the individual candle is doing. This is all about signals. This is all about getting the right signals. So the candles just simply get colored once they go into super trend or not super trend. Otherwise, they stay in this position. So you can see, for example, this is very, very cool on the dashboard. I'm going to walk you through some of this stuff. Let me go through over here, and you'll see the dashboard will dynamically change as the various factors in the dashboard start to kick in. So I'm going to walk you through step by step over here. So I'm going to go step by step, and you'll see that now we moved into super trend, right? Into super trend, and the price action is turned red, and the symbol now is showing wider. It was horizontal, meaning that there was compression. Now it's wider, meaning that there's super trend. Additionally, the second order of information that we have here is that we have a huge, huge expansion of volatility. Distance from the 8-period SMA is exceeding our 10 basis point parameter, and it's telling us, "Ooh, it's really, really starting to move." See how it's turned, exclamation point, it turned around, right? Very, very cool dynamically. A couple of other things in here that people have asked me for. The 10-day average true range just sort of gives you an idea of how much possibility, how volatile has this asset been. This is NASDAQ, obviously, has been pretty volatile, 1.5% per day from high to low over the last 10 days. And then how volatile is the candle right now? And what I've done here is people have asked me to input ATR, which is average true range, a very, very common indicator that people use all the time. Typically, it's done on a 14 period basis, but what I've done is I've done it on an 8 period basis, which you can, by the way, change in settings if you want to synchronize it with our 8 period moving average. So it's basically telling you, hey, over this 8 period moving average, the average true range is 23 points. So what's interesting about that is um, if you see it's a 23-point range, that the average movement in a candle is 23 points. If you have a stop that's less than that, you're almost sure you're going to get stopped out because it's within the volatility band. So if you're looking at this, you're like, oh, you know what, things have gotten really volatile. Maybe I don't want to take trades now because the stops are much larger than what I want them to be. Or, hey, I need to be wary that this is the volatility, so I need to make my stops at least this kind of a size just to make sure that I'm within the volatility band, right? All of this helps inform your decision making on a step-by-step, minute-by-minute basis. And then the very last thing that I put in there that is also really, really cool is a very sensitive indicator called slope. And what this is basically telling you is over the last 3 candles, are people buying or selling? Is the slope negative or positive? And obviously, if you're in a downtrend, you want the slope to be negative. And I'm going to show you how I combine the slope function with a signal function to kind of keep myself away from mediocre trades and give me a lot of confidence on the signal trades that I take. So everything here fully dynamic and changes with every single candle that prints, right? So if we get different different inputs, you see how candles rose over here. We stopped making lower lows, and the slope went from negative to positive. So if I had a signal here to sell, I would not necessarily sell because the slope now is positive. Why would I want to be, selling when prices are rising? So all of this creates really great feedback for you, which allows you to read it and then make decisions on the fly, which I hope is going to be very, very useful to you. Now, going into the actual signals, there are 4 types of signals. I've unchecked them all so that I wanted to just get a clean chart. First of all, there is the basic trend signal. And this is simply a signal that's going to appear when moving averages are they're not far wide. They're like 30 basis points or less. Again, that setting is set up there. And you just simply, those are just simply single buy, single sell signals that you can do. This is your bread and butter signals. And obviously the best kind of signals are the ones where you have higher highs on the green triangles. The triangle is, this triangle is higher than this one. Naturally, it's going to be a very likely possibility of things are going to go higher. So higher when things are when triangle is below the other triangle, I generally will step away. What's very cool about this is I don't have to kind of even eyeball it because the mathematics, the slope function will tell me. You see, the slope is negative here. I got a buy signal here. I don't necessarily want to be a buyer here, right? It's a negative slope. Why? Now the slope turns positive. Yes, now I want to be maybe a buyer. Okay, now I want to be a buyer because the slope is positive. This signal is good. I want to take this signal. Now this signal is over here with a negative slope. No, I don't want to take this signal. I want to pass up on it and see what happens next. Oh, nope, still not a good signal. Still not a good signal. And you see how I'm saving myself all this unnecessary stoppage because the slope is not agreeing with the green signal. And the slope obviously will turn green to be in sync. The triangle will turn up, to be in sync. All of this just gives you both textural and visual confirmation instantaneously. The whole idea here, as I try to design this, is to make it is to assume that you're the hunter on the plain of savannah. You need instant, quick pattern recognition signals where you don't even have to think about them. It's just almost instinctual. But the mathematics, of course, give you all of that information really, really nicely on the dashboard. So I hope you guys really, really like that. So that's the basic function of the bread and butter idea. Then we have the super trend signals, which I'm going to turn on right now. And I want to walk you through. Let's see. We have to get into a super trend. So I'm going to walk you through here. Let's see if we get into a super trend. I think we go down, right? I think we get a down super trend. Yes. Now we get a down super trend. Super trend signals are turned on. And these are sell and buy signals that happen when the trends get extreme, when they go into the super trend mode. And so let's see what happens here. And here we get a super trend signal here, super trend signal here. It keeps going the same way. And, you can just walk them through and you see how they're all generated, blah, 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 blah. Then we have 2 reversal possibilities. I'm going to turn both of those on right now. to show you what the reversal signals are. And you see, by the way, how, first of all, the trend signals are kind of regular green, and the reversal signals are these bright green to just also visually tell you, hey, this isn't a buy, this is a reversal buy. So you should be, wary of it. And also, it's marked by this little exclamation point telling you, hey, this is a dangerous trade, but if you want to take it, be my guest. These are reversal buys. So these are basically triggered when we have extreme sell-offs, right? The distance from 8 SMA is really, really pushed off. Like I think I'll walk you through here. Let's see if we get a reversal buy here, right? Pushed off, and boom, we get a reversal buy. And so first, the price really, really stretches away from the 8 SMA, then we recapture it. And that means that the sellers are kind of temporarily done. Probably have a good buy signal here, and we do. We buy this at 26. It's a beautiful signal, and it's almost a V-shaped recovery. So this is exactly what it looks for. And then the last signal, which we can't even find on the NASDAQ because it didn't show up. NASDAQ was just complete sell down on Friday. I'm going to show you on the S&P. The last signal is when the super trend ends and we go back into what I call compression territory. So we go from red to black right over here. We go from red super trend conditions back to more normal conditions, and that means likely we're probably going to go back up. So you could take this reversal signal over here. So you can see the reversal signals are few and far between, but they're valuable. And if you want to trade, if you're a counter trend, trader, there's certainly enough of them to make your life worthwhile. But mostly now, this is a pure trend-based structure, and it trades beautifully. So that's BK Scalper 1.7. I hope you guys really enjoyed it, with a dashboard, with the signals, with the super trends, everything nicely, clearly, logically laid out, separated, segregated. You can turn one signal, you can turn two signals, you can turn them off. Everything is checkable and uncheckable. This is with all four things checked. If I want to just be a pure trend trader, I can uncheck all of, this is the counter trend trader. Now I became a counter trend trader and I only take counter trend trades. Or if I want to be a pure trend trader, I'm going to check these and uncheck the counter trends. And now I only have pure trend trades. See? Either way, it's beautiful. You can have both, one or the other, anything you like. So that's the scalper structure. Now, in addition to the scalper structure, there's two free overlays. I'm going to undo all the signals on scalper just so that we don't get too much on the chart. And we'll go to first trend overlay. The first trend overlay will simply give you prices when the 8 period and the 200 period cross over. Now, what happens is very often you're going to get, this is actually quite good on S&P. You had some really beautifully clean signals where you have like one signal and it really moves up like 10 points here. And the trade that I really love is you take the super trend signal and then you take profit when it goes into, you take the first trend signal and you take profit when it goes into super trend, like right over here. That really creates a great looking trade. And you generally, if you're short here at 38, you're looking at 40 points. It's just massive amount of money on even a single contract. That's like $2,000. That's literally two trades like that, and you're fully funded on a $50,000 account. So it really gives you these great clean swing like trades. And then the last one, we'll go back to NASDAQ on this one, is what I call the extreme. So let me mute this. Show you 7, but mute the trend, and then we'll go to the extremes. And these are configured at a 5 basis point stretch, meaning you stretched 5 basis points away from the 8-period moving average. And here, we're trading them strictly on a breakout basis. We're going to take that signal as a continuation signal. We think that this signal has continuity behind it, and it does. Now, it does, of course, has the potential to retrace. But if we give ourselves a little bit of breathing room, and the way I trade these particular signals would be like this. Here's the signal, here's the candle. I give myself the extra candle, the candle behind it as my stop, which would be like somewhere around over here, right? If I put a stop somewhere around over here, you can see, I'll put this just a little bit above the candle because you always want to give a little bit of breathing room. If I'm short here, I survive the retrace, boom, money, right? If I'm short here, on this candle over here, I'm using this second candle as my thing. I don't survive the retrace here. That's fine. I get stopped out. I come back on the next sequence, which is this candle over here with this stop over here. Boom, I recover my money. The way we trade and the way we make money, and this is why I say you have to watch me live because to fully understand the structure, is we get stopped out, the next signal, we double up. And all we need is a 50% accuracy rate to be able fully functional, because we lose one, we win two. We lose one, we win two. We lose one, we win two. That's how the whole thing goes. And that's what makes it so incredibly useful as a strategy. So now you have everything under the sun. You have the first trends, you have the extreme overlays, those are free overlays, and you have the BK Scalper 1.7 with this beautiful dynamic dashboard that gives you all the information you need to make really intelligent trades all the time. I hope you guys really enjoyed. I poured my heart out into it, and I really going to enjoy it myself. Thanks a lot. I'll see you guys in the markets. Over and out.